Ludum. If you are into game development or indie games in general, you probably heard that name. For those who didn't, ludum is a game jam. It has two separate categories, jam and compo, the difference being that for jam you got 72 hours, you can work in a team and use any assets you have rights to. Compo on the other hand allows only 48 hours, you have to work solo and everything has to be made during the jam period, aka masochist mode. For me, a masochist myself, the choice was really obvious. This ludum the theme was deeper and deeper. There's a coke joke to be made somewhere. First few hours of the jam I spent sleeping because shit starts at 3 AM my time. Then I woke up, read the theme, and thought that this theme kinda sucks. I couldn't think of anything better than digging a fucking hole. So I decided to take a shower and I came up with a rough idea, going deeper and deeper into madness. I didn't yet knew what genre the game is going to be, but then I remembered an old idea of mine, a boss rush game in an office setting where you have to kill your coworkers, and I thought it can fit the madness theme. So I got into procrastinating for 4 hours and then started working. First I started by making a list of things I need to make and list of things I would like to add. Actual work, I started by making artwork for the player. Most devs start with placeholder art, but I personally found it easier to start with art than code, since I make pixel art fairly quickly and I just get more enjoyment out of working this way. With player and his gunsmate, I worked on the movement. I had made 2 bullet hells that I made for jumps already, so making movement was really easy. I made a simple tile set. I decided to make every level just one screen, since the game is gonna be pretty much only boss fights. This way player can see everything that's going on at any moment. I drew a simple heart sprite and made a dummy to shoot at. Added some screen shakes when rockets explode, and made it so enemies turn white for a frame when hit, to make shooting feel more juicy. After that I added a health bar for the bosses, linked that to the dummy to see if it works, and it does. So it was time to finally start making bosses. So I got around to drawing the first one. My idea for him was a cup of coffee, because who doesn't drink coffee at work? Then I started coding the movement. I added a simple wandering around, programmed an attack system so I can customize his attack patterns. I also added an option for boss to go into the middle of the map for specific attacks. It actually was way harder than I expected, since it was around 4 AM at the time and I was really tired and making dumb mistakes constantly, so with the first boss fight ready, I went to bed. Second day I started by adding some post-processing, because you always need to add that PP. A game without PP isn't really a game. Added a level finish in form of a hole, yes, very creative. Added a simple tutorial and tried teaching player organically, having him dash for bullets to complete the tutorial, so the player will learn that dash negates damage. With tutorial finished, I got into working on a second boss, which was going to be a monkey with keyboard. Yes, that definitely does look like a keyboard. Since it's some monk, I wanted his attacks to be somewhat randomized, so I added an option for spread on the attacks, and the game froze. After fixing that, I also added a dash for enemies and a death animation to the monkey. After that, I made the main menu as a break from boss making, and implemented a big PP button. After clicking, it opens up a Steam page for Mixed Guns, my upcoming game, which you can wishes now, and in return you will get a big PP. This is the only way to increase your dick size. None of this orange YouTube or PewDiePie bullshit works. With main menu in place, I created the final boss. Only new thing I had to code for him were homing missiles. I wanted to have very little signaling on his animations to make it harder, but post-jam I can say that was a pretty shitty idea, and by that point I had pretty much whole game ready and still few hours left. So I decided to playtest it a bunch, did some balancing changes and decorated the levels, made some carpets, plants and other props. I made it so with each floor the props go more and more demonic. The water in the water dispenser literally turns into piss. Feeling really tired since it was almost 3 AM, I decided to start uploading the game. Wait a minute, there's no audio. I started panicking. I opened up BFXR and made very few simple sound effects. Honestly, if not for being tired, I could do much better. But well, I was so tired. After that I uploaded the game to Ludum and Edge. It was fairly easy since I had extra submission hours. I had few problems with every well build that I quickly solved. And finally, with the game published, I head up to bed. If you enjoyed this devlog, you can subscribe and leave a like, it does really help me out a lot. Alongside wishlisting mixed guns if you haven't done that already. See ya!